Yeah, so we're kind of like halfway through that challenge already because we did Saturday, Wednesday, and then now obviously Wednesday, Saturday. It's about getting the group recovered mentally, physically, getting them quickly able to reset and refocus. And this is a great challenge, but it's what we love because we love playing games.
And then now, with the third of the season gone, you're starting to see teams that you've never faced, but there's a lot of film of how to play the season. Likewise, on the other side, what are the interesting challenges in preparing for that?
Well, when you have a short turnaround, you have to pick the most important things that will matter because the guys are still recovering from the last game while preparing for this game. So we don't want to overload them with too much information, keep things as simple as possible, make sure that we focus on ourselves, but it's up to us to show our value in our craft, to pick 2 to 3 of the most important things that we can show them that will help them be successful in the night.
And then to replicate the results for the last games, would it be to try to keep to that style, or just it's a new opponent and then a new challenge every single day coming into this sport?
Yeah, we just talk about every week in and week out, games being an opportunity to continue growing as a group and growing in our DNA. So that's always going to be the number one priority. And then, of course, having a few nuances, because each opponent is a little bit different, as clear as possible so the guys know what kind of game they're going to be playing in.
How's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I wanted to ask you about the schedule. It's very unique in soccer to play this many home games in a stretch like this. Usually it's home away, and maybe 2 at home. How do you approach that, and how important is it to capitalize, knowing what's coming?
Yeah, obviously, anytime you play at home, you don't have to do the travel, play in front of your fans, so that's always a plus. And then you want to win every game you play, and then especially you want to win your home games. But at the end of the day, for us, the most important thing is about finding consistency in our performance. That's something that we touched upon after the RSL game, and it really doesn't matter if the game is at home or away. Every time you step on the field and compete, there's a possibility of winning, drawing, and losing. So we just need to be prepared to give ourselves the best chances of winning as possible.
I know athletes are supposed to stay in the present, but coaches get a peek ahead and look at the whole season. Describe or characterize what that schedule looks like in the back half.
As of right now, I have pretty good clarity up until the MLS break. So that's about 3 weeks away. Until then, it really is thinking present moment, and then maybe a week and a half ahead. Otherwise, you'll transmit on accident energy that this moment doesn't matter, and that's where you have the potential of kicking yourself.
So you just have to deal with it later.
Yeah.
But you kind of know what.
Yeah, I mean, we have big picture stuff. I know when there's games and stuff, but like we can't plan anything because the reality is that the week and 2 weeks leading into any one fixture is the only time you can start putting details to paper, because who's available, how's the team been playing, what's the opponent's form been. All of that stuff is impossible to know. What we will know is more or less what days we train and what days we have off.
In a way, was it kind of a blessing that you got this schedule with a new team, to have the comfort of playing at home? Also, you haven't played some of teams like Vancouver. You haven't played them yet. Some of the better teams you haven't played yet. Is it nicer to have this, knowing how new everything was?
We're not thinking about that at all. We just come here every day to work, get better. We played last 3 MLS Cup champions, so I think we've done all right starting with a tough schedule.
And then on another note, just ask the players, they gave sort of 2 different responses, but what's your thoughts on the field condition? I know you don't control it, you don't own the stadium, so your control is not as much. But
our training field is amazing, and the stadium field can improve.
Can you expand on that?
Yeah, there's. I think I'll probably just leave it at it can get better, and I think we're working with San Diego State to make those improvements from a detail perspective. But with our style of play, it is really important.
Well, that was my next question.
The quality of service
Explain
is
that.
good. Yeah, because we take a lot of risk with the ball. We require a lot of precision and speed of play. So what we ask of these guys is already really, really hard. And then a really, really great field gives us a huge advantage. And when the field is not great, it gives the opponent the advantage.
And is that because of the unpredictability of the bounces?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, so how the ball rolls, how fast it rolls, how it bounces, and then just your footing, how your footing is.
You're obviously aware of this. I mean, it was a huge issue last year. You have a professional club moved the game because it got to that point. It's not at that point now. I just want to make. Is that?
Yeah,
that
no,
fair?
not even close. So listen, we're in a partnership with San Diego State. We believe that all of us are in this with the same objectives in mind. And right now, it's just like coming out with the guys or with me. It's about giving feedback week in, week out. They're open to it, and then us making steps so that we get to the best quality possible of our playing style, of me coaching, of our fields, and we're all working for the first time together. So it's about pushing the envelope, but it's also about understanding that we're in this together.
Got it.
Will, we just saw Marcus come off with the little sweating. I wonder if there's an update on it.
Yeah, Marcus has just started like his field portion of his return to play. So he's still got some time out, but he was able to enter as a neutral in some exercises, which is a great first step. He's doing finishing now.
Talk a little bit about Sporting KC this weekend. What challenges do they provide? And the team at the bottom of the table, sometimes there's a worry from fans, maybe not putting forward the best effort, maybe like a trap game. But what do you say to your team to keep them motivated?
Listen, if you want to be successful in life, you cannot change based on the external situation that you're facing. So when things are bad, and this idea of like, okay, now I got to work harder, and when things are good, now I can relax, it's not going to help you sustain high-level success at the elite level. So we talk about being consistent, being persistent, who we are, in the good and in the bad, making sure that we're working really hard, and that one of our values is to embrace competition. Every time we step on the field, we have the tremendous honor, but also responsibility to give everything we have, because not everybody gets to do what we do.
Plus, I would think too, a team like that, they're 5 out of a playoff spot, and they're probably looking to, wow, what a feather in the cap would be. Second in the Western Conference.
Yeah,
You guys are sort of the
MLS is a tricky league. 3 wins in a row, and you can flip your position in the standings. Three losses in a row, and you can drop quickly. So if you take your eye off of the prize at any moment, this league will give you a slap in the head and wake you up pretty quick. And then in terms of Kansas City's historically been a team that is very good in possession, 4-3-3. They always have wingers that can hurt you. We see them having a good mid-block pressure and then looking to counterattack us into the half spaces with their wingers. Other teams have had some success with doing that against us, and they have the profiles to do it. And then ultimately, it's a club that's a very competitive one. So, sometimes they're down, sometimes they're up, but they always compete.